Welcome back to Nizer Gaming, and today we're going to be playing some more Home and see if we can't figure out what is going on here. Alright, this thing did not autosave last time, so I had to go a bit. I think I'm back to where I was. I'm outside, heading towards town, it said. So as I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I'd worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Okay. Go in here. See what's all in this place, shall we? One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Old work clothes had been picked through, and a few photos and notes had been ripped off the door and spread around. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said "Danger, closed for repairs." There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. It didn't look like the power was on yet. Alright, so we've got a door. And we've got a stairway. We'll go through the door and come back to the stairway next. Oh, no, we won't. The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Alright, so, need power. Looks like we're going upstairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper, cartoons, and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Alright, a door. Another stairway. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Odd, it seemed like some beer bottles had been used on the table recently. They weren't as dusty as the rest of it. Alright. We'll go up the stairs after we try to go through the door. And we're able to. Okay, what do we got in here? Anything? A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Well, yeah, we're gonna get the power going, dude. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. That woman's photo, I knew I had to get back to Rachel to find out what happened. A power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Oh, yes. Well, I believe we've got some power going here. It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. Well, we need a key card. Do I need to hit that again? Power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. There we go. Green. This one's green. Alright. Going upstairs to the 3rd level. And we'll go in the door after we check. Some stuff. The door had been hastily boarded up. Let's find something and unboard it. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. My head ached, and I recalled the last time Norman, Rachel, and I had all lunch together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. It's green, so that means we've got some power going, or close to it. A utility shelf, crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes, we'll get the board off with that. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. being useful and productive there in this plant, that was all I ever wanted. When the factory closed, everything got worse. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. We'll get in that door that needs a key card. I slipped the key card into my pocket. From the musty smell, I assumed no one had used this locker for a long time. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Well, yes. That didn't do it. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. There we go. Another one. We'll hit it. And not yet. Do it again. And we got that. Alright. Back out the door. I need to go back down. So I'm not going up anymore. If there is another level. Down. Okay, we'll go and check this. I struck with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I had removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. Nothing that way. Another locker. This was my locker. There in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. This room was nothing but bad memories. The floor was littered with old liquor bottles. I wonder if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. It reeked of the sour stench of leftover liquor. Alright, now we got the key card. Is the power running, though, is the question. Don't see anything else. That wasn't the one, was it? Or was it down this way? Yep. The key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? Yes. So we must have power now. There goes a grate. Alright, we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's... Oh no, the door had somehow locked itself again. There was no key card slot on this side. Well, I guess I don't get to go check that other one. There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? Yes. Ow! Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. Alright, so what do we got? That room at the top of the plant, the one with all the bottles, it was really getting to me. Maybe I was just distracted. Who went up there and used that room? As I exited the factory, I didn't recognize where I was going. My head ached terribly and my leg was a mess. Alright. Walking in the woods in the middle of the night. Or is that a mile marker or a road or interstate? So we go through there. Opening in the fence. Is this the opening I saw earlier? That I did not pass through? No, because I came from the right, so I'm going to the left. Okay, dumpster. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Oh yeah. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card and now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Did somebody steal this from me? I wonder why they would have stashed it there. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Okay, we need to get inside. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Oh, maybe Norman's here. Upstairs. I'll go upstairs. No. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Upstairs we go. Norman, are you in here? There's like blood on the floor right there. Alright, so I'm going to go right this time and come back to the left. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing there? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? I don't think so. Not at this point. I'm going to hold on to it. Though it weighed on me, I had a hard time parting with the weapon just then. Because if I put it back, and I've touched it, and somebody was murdered with it, and I would be held liable, and I wouldn't have the weapon any longer just in case I meet whoever is doing the killings. Alright, into this room. There's the television. The TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. I couldn't make out what was on the screen, but that glow just gave me the chills. Oh no. That's what I said. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already dying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yeah. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think any more about what was going on. Dang, dude. I hope to hell Rachel had nothing to do with that mess. This is getting weirder. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. I'd never been to Norman's place before. At least I didn't remember ever doing so. I think you'd remember that. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? I don't think so. There's no reason to go through that. I was already filthy and exhausted. I didn't want to keep rooting around in garbage. Maybe I should, though. Maybe there's something in there. We'll try it. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. Why? Why do you need a hairpin for? Use it to open a door or something, possibly, but I mean, what's the purpose in that? Unless he's weird when it comes to Rachel. Alright. Nope. I've already been over here, right? Yeah, I've already been over here. Okay, back out we go. And go back downstairs since there's nothing to do upstairs. Alright, I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. Oh, there we go. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty and had a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. I wonder if someone had robbed the place before killing Norman upstairs. No telling, dude. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. I could only think of poor Norman upstairs. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. Of all the postcards, that one seemed to be the most popular. There were only a few left. Through the door. What had I seen? Norman was dead, but I had no idea why. I didn't know how he could be involved in all this, but the thought of him lying on the floor up there was sickening. The only comfort I had was the gun I still carried, but was it really a comfort or a curse? The rain was coming down hard, but at least I was close to home. It wouldn't be long before I got my answers. Alright, let's get home then. What's this? It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Okay. Well, that one. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. Alright, this must be it then. Are we home? That's the gate to the home. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? I am curious. There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away, she's mine." That was it. No signature, no other information. Huh. Who wrote this? Damn it, Norman, what did you get yourself into? I'm starting to believe that this dude is the killer, and he just can't remember. I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Alright, let's get in this house. I'm gonna guess Rachel's dead. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. I'm more curious than terrified at this point. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. Why is the power off? I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? The table was clean. It hadn't been used any time recently. So it probably wasn't yesterday. Alright, we got a door. We got stairs. Got something on the floor. There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? Yeah. I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out, though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. Alright, so we'll go in this door first. Well, no, we won't. The door to the basement was locked. Where did I put the damn key? We'll go upstairs then. We'll go to the right to begin with. Maybe not. Check what's still left. I got another. You got a 3-story house. Man. It's on the floor. I had found the last missing piece from my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me, remembering me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? Yeah. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Yeah, I bet Rachel's in the basement. You done killed her. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. I can't pick it, huh? Upstairs we go. Go to the right this time. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. I wasn't sure I wanted to. Alright, door. We'll go this way first. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remembered it from that trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? Yeah. I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days' worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket. Where was she planning to go? This wasn't getting me anywhere. Nope. It's like an episode of Lost. It just keeps getting more and more complex. Inside. Can't go that way. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. Alright, nothing in the bathroom. And that door. What are we going to find in here? Computer? My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key. Laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. Well, it must have a hell of a battery if you left it on. If not, somebody else was looking at it. Alright, where did I need to go? Back down. There was... What door was it I need to go in? Was it this one? The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Didn't I pick up a key? I'm lost now. Was there another door I needed to go in that was locked? We'll go back downstairs. The only other one was the front door, right? Pretty certain that's the front door, yeah. What? I picked up a key. Why couldn't I go in here? Huh. Well then, that's odd. Grabbed a key, and I can't use the damn thing. Ooh, oh, that was to the basement then. Gotcha. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Yes. I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. Probably the upstairs room. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. We had way too much junk. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck, and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. I'm gonna guess that's in the room upstairs. Okay, was this the door? No. And this to the kitchen. Okay. Upstairs one more time. And here. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. Excuse me. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yeah, it's going to get me in that divider in the basement. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Yeah, that's good for you. Appreciating the weight of a crowbar. Alright, let's go back to the basement. And to the divider. Did I break through the wall with a crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. Here we go. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Nothing to look at so far. Man, that's a hell of a basement. What's in that? A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? I don't know, did I? I'm gonna say yes. Oh no, please. Among the stained fabric and rotting odor, my wife's body lay crumpled in a heap. A single bloody wound had ripped open her chest, but thankfully the details were obscured by blood and dirt. I could tell she had been shot, and the thought of the handgun I had taken made me retch. So this was the feeling in the pit of my stomach, the tingling that brought me back. I had finally come home and my wife was dead. I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who'd done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Yep, he did it. Got no doubt he did it now. She was cheating on him. Alright. Maybe we'd use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. Yeah, you better. No matter what, I needed some kind of escape. It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? I don't know. There. That was decided. What was decided? I didn't decide on nothing. Other than, I guess, I trying to say he was sleeping? See? So within the few broken pieces that remained of that mirror, I could see my face had grown pale and weak. I couldn't bear to look again. It was like I didn't actually expect a reflection. I felt empty and drained. It was the key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Yes. It must have been him. He must have been using the old locker room. I had made up my mind. The laptop had finally run out of power. How long had it been left running? I don't think it was running that long, Bubba. I think you did it. Should we go into the room here? That's the bathroom. The reflection of that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. The quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. I still loved the old-time charm of that claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like cold comfort then. Rachel loved this part of the house. Alright, I guess we go downstairs. It was the letter I had taken from the post box. Who had it out for Norman? Who sent him that letter? It must have been someone from the neighborhood, or at least somebody wanted it to look that way. I wasn't sure what to think. Did he murder Rachel? I'm gonna say no. No way, Norman had ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him. But who the hell was that? It's you, dude! From now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Just thinking about things like that made me sick with grief. Yeah. Pretty sure you did it, dude. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. It used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I had left it somewhere. Maybe. Alright, let's go. I came from upstairs, so we need to go downstairs. It seemed like I'd seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. That's what I'm thinking, but we're gonna... The mail still sat there, heaped on the floor. How long had Rachel been lying in the basement? It seemed like that mail had been there for a while. Well, I guess we're going in the basement in a second. After I check this, there would be no more dinners here. No more chit-chat over breakfast, at least not for us. Must have locked the door. There was no reason. Yeah, that's the backyard. Okay, back to the basement. Get this story over with, because I have a pretty good idea that you are the killer, dude. Killed your wife, killed your friend. If I wanted to end it, I could do it. I could do it with that gun. Did I pick it up again? I didn't know we'd dropped the gun. There's no reason to end it. Just the thought made my head spin. I left the gun on the cold basement floor. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. Okay. Kinda lost in what to do here. There was nothing for me here anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? So my options are to leave to never to return, or to pick up the gun and off myself. This is weird, so I guess we leave never to return. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. Even the man I had found in that old place was a mystery. Why he was dead, or who had done it to him, was not something I could even begin to understand, or why, for that matter, I was in that damn room in the first place. After making it out of those tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people, but who was it that was attacked? I had found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but knew I had been to that forest and even Norman's place, well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought. That would cover my track, so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. The tangled mess of that horrible forest was an experience I'd never want to repeat. It was clear, at least, that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who had boarded up that locker room, who had been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So, had he killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out, or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman, why? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I'd found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really considered it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Damn, Norman, how did you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man, none of us are, but you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever had done you in was responsible for the other murders that happened in that town. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I sincerely hoped you would find some peace, my friend. I knew I never would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end, and I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, our house used to feel so lively, so warm, but coming into that kitchen, I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility, but nothing could have prepared me. My wife dead. Ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can be offered? Rachel had been taken from me, and I might never know why. As I swung open the door and stepped out into the air, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife, just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. And that's the end? Really? What in the world? That's it? So we don't really know who did the killing? I have a feeling it was him, even though he said he saw two people on the tape attacking the guard or whatever it was in the factory. I don't know. You can't remember anything. Home is dedicated to my wife, Nancy. Watch your back. The maker of this game wanted to murder his wife. That was weird. Well, not that horrible to me. But anyhow, that's the ending. I'm not sure if there are any alternate endings to this, but I don't believe I'm going to go searching. I might go back and shoot myself to see what happens there. But I'm pretty certain that he killed his wife and Norman. They were probably cheating on him. But anyhow, if you've liked this, punch that button. Make your comments down below. What do you think happened? And subscribe. That's always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.